Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Dana and today I am doing a deep dive into, let's see if I can use my other arm, the brand Dr. Idriss. So these are all the products that she sells at the moment. There are 5 products. I have them all. I bought them all with my own money, not that that matters, but I did. And we're gonna get into the brand, talk about each product, talk about what I think about the products, think about the brand as in general, and try to discuss any maybe issues that are prevalent with this brand. Anyway, I will link everything below. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. I always try to respond to all my comments, and we will get into it. Okay, so this brand is an interesting brand. It's pretty new. Dr. Idriss is an Instagram dermatologist, which I never thought I would be saying that. I think a few years ago that wasn't a thing, but basically she's a dermatologist and she moved over to Instagram and TikTok and became pretty well known. She actually started off with the screen name Pillow Talk Derm. And then the brand, her products were also called Pillow Talk Derm, and then they rebranded more recently. I think that's fair. I think Pillow Talk Derm is not really the best name, and I think there might have been like some copyright issues as well, because Pillow Talk is Charlotte Tilbury's like main line of products. So that's kind of the basics, the genesis of it. And then the other thing I wanted to mention before we jump into the products is that there's been some controversy over her products, her branding, her marketing, because a lot of the times, especially in the beginning, I think the language has changed more recently, but there was a lot of language saying treats melasma, which if you have melasma, I do, there's nothing that treats it. It is something that you will live with, but you can minimize it and you can make it or help it from not growing and getting worse, but you really can't treat it. So that statement, especially because these are over the counter, you don't have to have a prescription. Some of the like actual ingredients where they really do treat and help with the melasma and help reduce the signs of it are only by prescription. So that claim was pretty bold. It was also wrong, and I think that she got into some issues with that. I know a lot of people were not happy with that. So I do want to call that out and just make it known. You know, there's the same thing that happened with Susan Yara and Naturium, where, not the same thing, but there were some kind of like, I don't know, scandal, if you will. And a lot of people were like, I am never going to ever buy anything from Naturium or Susan Yara. And it's like, I get that, but at the same time, if I like a product, I'm going to use it. I am not above taking a stand. I mean, I'm actually below taking a stand, because she's gonna sell the products anyway. You would have to get, whatever, I'm not gonna go into that. But the whole point is, I'm here to tell you what the products are like, if I like them, how they work, blah, 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 all those things. And then you can make up your own mind if you would like to buy it or not. And if you don't wanna buy it on principle, that's fine. I don't really need to know, but you know, here we go. I think that's it. Let's get into the products. So the first one I have is, oh, I forgot to also mention, I wanted to say, this packaging and like the branding of it is spectacular. They are, if you saw these products in a Sephora, like me personally, I would be like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty, I want them. And it's really simple packaging. It's kind of like the balayage, like, you know, lighter to darker. Not on all of them, but the colors are just vibrant. They're very pretty. I think they do a great job marketing wise, but we're gonna talk about the actual specifics now. And the first one is the Soft Wash. This is a complete daily cleanser. It retails for either $30 as a one-time purchase or $27 as a subscription. You get 5.2 fluid ounces, which is 154 milliliters. Not a lot, actually. Like when we're thinking about the cleanser, some of my other cleansers, every time I say that, you get a lot in a cleanser, but I'm also not terribly mad at 5.4 fluid ounces. And $30, while expensive for a cleanser, it's unfortunately not the highest that I've seen. They say to use this really only at night unless you have more oily skin, and then you can use it in the morning. And I actually agree 100% with that. And it's not just for this cleanser. I think unless you have oily skin, you don't need to really be washing your face with a cleanser in the morning. You can wash your face with water, washcloth, whatever. That's fine. You can use a toner, but you don't need to actually use a cleanser. So unless you have oily skin. And then they say that this will take off your light makeup and sunscreen. So if you are wearing maybe like what I'm wearing today is just sunscreen and then the ultraviolet bronzing sunscreen drops. That's all I have on. Hypothetically, I could use this as my only cleanse. They say if you are wearing more like heavy makeup or maybe like multiple layers of sunscreen, use it as the first cleanse in your double cleanse. So you put this on dry skin either way, and then you rinse off. It's not going to foam at all. And then if you're going into a double cleanse, then you typically use a foaming cleanser. But you can use it either way. I've used it both ways and it works pretty well. But I also haven't used my UV light to see if it has removed all of the sunscreen. I'm just, living on a hope and a prayer that it does. They also say because it's a gentle cleanser, it is suitable for sensitive skin types and your eyes. I have not had any reactions. When my skin is a little bit more sensitized, it's not that I don't want to reach for this because I haven't had a reaction, but I just want to reach for my cleanser because that one just soothes my skin like no other. But this is a very good option if maybe like the cleanser is out of stock. This would be maybe my second choice behind that. And as I said, just to reiterate, apply it to dry skin. It works the best that way, and you're not going to have any foaming. It's a gel texture, but it doesn't foam, so don't expect that. It's really just like a jelly cleanser. So that is the soft wash. Next up, we have the Major Fade Hyper Serum. This is an interesting product. It retails for $61 with a subscription or $68 if it's a one-time purchase. That said, you do get two parts of it. Let me see if I think I can do it. I forget how now. I'm not going to do it because I don't remember how and I don't want to break it. But this little part, this light purple part, comes out and you get two of those. So 2 canisters or whatever it is in your purchase. So you're actually getting kind of like double. So if you think this is all it is for $68, you're not. It's about $34 when you kind of do the math because you're getting 2 tubes. The claims on this one is that it targets discoloration and it also helps to brighten complexion. They say to use 4 pumps daily, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. I found when I did that, I went through this so quickly. So I have resorted to using it only at night or sometimes in the morning, but I just kind of prefer nighttime. And I can't justify spending $68 on this every month because that's how quickly I would go through it. As far as ingredients, it's got alpha-arbutin, kojic acid, niacinamide, gallic acid, and licorice root extract. I think the texture on this is one of the loveliest serums that I've ever experienced. I will insert all of the B-roll footage so you can see what it looks like. But it's just a very silky consistency. It slides. Like so many serums that I have, when you're only supposed to be using a little bit, I feel like they don't go far on your face. You just have a hard time getting them over your face. This one, I don't have that issue with. Like I said, silky texture that glides over, sinks in immediately. There's nothing like too heavy on the face. All that said, I have not seen any results from it and I've been using it diligently. That's not to say that it doesn't work. And I know I've seen some reviews where people say that it worked for them, and I can't really say like that it didn't and they're lying. My skin is just like a little bit tougher with discoloration. It takes a lot for discoloration on my face to fade. Like we're talking like lasers and peels and prescription strength ingredients and skincare. So the fact that this didn't work for me, I don't think it's indicative that it's not going to work for everyone. I think if you have kind of more normal skin maybe, it might be a good option. That said, I do think it's really, really pricey for what you're getting. And I actually would prefer to use the, La Roche-Posay Mela B5. It's a new product from them. I've used 1 bottle, I'm on my second. And I feel like I saw more results from that than this. So I will link the La Roche-Posay one below. And that one's $34 and you're getting 1 fluid ounce. This one, you know, each of these tubes is 48 fluid ounces, so it's the same price for double the product. So not the worst product I've ever used, but just didn't work really for me. Moving on to the next one, we have, this is the line, I think it's called Major Fade, all of these purple containers. This one is called the Major Fade Active Seal Moisturizer. This is $52 with a subscription or $58 one time. Now, when I say that price out loud for a moisturizer, I'm just like, but I also think back to the video that I did for the SkinCeuticals Triple Lipid Restore and then dupes for it. And there were a lot of moisturizers in this $50, $60 range. So I know it's expensive, but it's a Sephora brand. It's supposed to be kind of prestige, dermatology kind of skincare. So they say that this one is a 2-in-1, I guess like your serum and your moisturizer, and it is a brightening vitamin C moisturizer. But the vitamin C in there is an ester, which if I'm gonna use a vitamin C, my skin, I can handle more, and I would prefer something that has a bit of more research and like proven results behind it. Vitamin C esters, to me, I think they're a little bit like lower on the like efficacy scale. For some people they may work fine, but it's kind of like I'm paying for the price of a vitamin C, but I'm not getting the results of a true vitamin C. That's kind of how I look at it. That said, the texture of this moisturizer is beautiful. It's very lightweight. It is that of a gel moisturizer, so you can use it in the morning. You could use it at night if you have more oily skin. For me though, it's more of a daytime moisturizer, especially with the vitamin C. It makes sense to use it in the daytime. The one thing I do want to kind of mention, a lot of these Major Fade products, well, the serum and then the moisturizer, they have either kojic acid or vitamin C esters. And so basically you're getting quite a bit of vitamin C throughout the skincare routine if you're using all of them. So for me, again, my skin is very hardy, it can take a lot, but if you have more sensitive skin and you know, like, I only need 1 dose of vitamin C, just be careful if you're using both, because while the serum doesn't have actual vitamin C, kojic acid does work similarly to vitamin C. So it's just one of those things, you don't want your skin to become too sensitized because it's got all these brightening and discoloration active ingredients kind of working at the same time. So just a word of advice. So about this moisturizer and my kind of final thoughts on it, I'm okay with it. Will I repurchase it? Probably not. I love the texture. I don't like the price, and I think I could probably get the same effects with other items that I already have, moisturizers that I already have and know and love. So it's nice one to have. Like that's exactly it. Nice to have, don't need. So if you want to treat yourself and this sounds like something you would like, it is a good option, but again, the price is pretty exorbitant and I don't think it does anything extraordinary for my skin. All right, the last one in the Major Fade line is the Major Fade Flash Mask. This retails for $43 if you are subscribing or $48 as a one-time purchase. Whew, and this is a resurfacing acid mask, and boy is it ever. So they say to use this 3 times a week, and my thought to that, which I wrote down in my notes, is what? You're supposed to use 2 to 4 pumps, which I think I actually use more, maybe that's why I say what to that, and leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. This is a mask, like you wash it off, you put it on dry skin, which I will get to in a second, leave it 10-15 minutes, kind of however long you want or can take, and then you rinse it off. It's got 15% glycolic acid, tranexamic acid, and 3% lactic acid, which are, especially for my skin loves all of those, so I have no issues with that. But you know, if your skin doesn't like maybe glycolic or lactic or tranexamic, don't use it. I didn't mention it's 1.7 fluid ounces, and I think I forgot to mention how much is in this one, but that's also 1.7, and like I said, this one is about ½ an ounce. But let's go back to what I was kind of shocked by. The fact that they say to use this 3 times a week seems excessive to me. This is not for the weak at heart or weak at skin. It's a pretty strong acid, and I typically only leave it on for 10 minutes. I've had many times where I can't even leave it on that long. Now, I did learn that if my skin had any moisture on it, maybe like, because I typically use it at night after I've washed my face, if you have any droplets of water, it's going to burn and sting, and you're probably going to cry and take it off. And that's what I was doing. I thought my face was dry, but apparently it wasn't. So please, please, please be careful and use this on dry skin. 100%, that is my biggest recommendation. And also, if you do have more sensitive skin, I would patch test it and probably not start with 3 times a week. Even me, who again, my skin is like the final boss level. Like, it has gone through a lot of things and it's a pretty expert level skin, if I will. I would not use this 3 times a week. I would maybe use it twice a week. That's only if you feel like your skin is super congested. I don't think you need to exfoliate with this strong of a product that many times a week. So me personally, 1 to 2 times a week, kind of depending on how my skin is feeling and the moisture barrier level. Like, if it's compromised, don't use it. But that said, I love this product. I think it's one of the best products in this line, and I feel like it does exactly what it says it's gonna do. It's really supposed to help resurface, get rid of any of the dead skin cells. It's going to help with cell turnover, and all of these things are something you really want to keep your skin looking fresh and not too dull or dry. So I love it, and I probably will repurchase it, even though, again, $50 basically is a lot. I think it is worth it for this one. So if you're looking for a good acid peel, this is your one. Okay, the last item we have is the Depuffer. Look at this packaging. This is the same as the soft wash. They've kind of got that dark to light coloring, which I think is just beautiful. And this is an interesting kind of package. So it comes in, what is this, 1.35 fluid ounces, and you've got this little metal kind of roller at the end. What you're supposed to do is you turn this, and then once you've turned it on, I'm not going to do it right this second, but I'll show you in the B-roll. You squeeze this, the product comes out through the metal part, and then you roll it on your face. Be sure to close it, because otherwise it will go everywhere. So this one is $34 if you have the subscription, or $38 as a one-time purchase. It's got Arnica, Centella Asiatica, and niacinamide. Love all of those ingredients, especially Centella. And then Arnica is such a good one for basically helping reduce redness and puffiness and kind of any irritation that you may have. And that's really the point of this. This is supposed to be, I mean, it says it right here, redness reducing serum. That's what it is. You know, the packaging, I think some people probably will really love. I think it's a bit gimmicky. I think if I really just want like a serum that's supposed to help reduce redness, then I'll just want a serum in a pump or a, dropper. But I think the idea of this one is supposed to be a little bit more like self-care. Like, with this little ball, you're rubbing and, rubbing away your redness and your troubles. I don't find that I ever do that. I just kind of want the product on my face, and I don't have time for that. But I know there are plenty of people who love this kind of thing, so I'm not going to totally knock it. It's just not for me. That said, because of the ingredients, I mean, those ingredients are legitimate to help reduce redness. This is a very good option for that. So if you are looking for something to help reduce redness, this is a good option. But also, I think if you're really looking for a self-care product, because there are other serums out there that help reduce redness, but this one, take a second, put your hair up, get a glass of wine, and then roll your face out with this. And it kind of just helps relax, and then you're gonna see the results from it reducing any of that inflammation that could be on your face. So for me, maybe not a repurchase, just because I don't tend to have a lot of redness, but I do love the consistency of the actual serum. I would probably buy this again if it was in a different package, because I really enjoy the serum and how it makes my skin kind of feel, especially like I always kind of tend to get redness around my nose area. It does help reduce that. So it's a very good option, just maybe not my favorite type of packaging. Okay guys, so that is it. Those are the 5 products that they sell right now. I'm sure they're gonna come out with more. I do like the brand though in general, because I feel like they haven't had a lot of launches, which, my favorite brand out there these days is Prequel, and they just come out with launch after launch after launch, which can be exhausting. This brand has been a little bit slower, which is not a bad thing. I think it's really nice. And I think they have a few standout products. So the products for me that I think stand out the most are these 2. This is the Major Fade Flash Mask. Very potent, works really well. Just be careful, don't have any wetness on your face. And then the other one is the Soft Wash. I was not expecting to love this as much as I do. If the cleanser didn't exist, this would be my favorite, like kind of double cleanse, second cleanse one. It's so soft, it never irritates my eyes or skin, and it's a really pleasurable experience. Also, the packaging is just adorable. So these two get a big thumbs up in my book. And then the others, you know, I don't have anything bad to say against these two products. Sorry, arm's still in the sling. There's nothing wrong with either of these. They're just not maybe like for me. I wouldn't necessarily repurchase, but I think a lot of people would get a lot of use out of them. And then the one that I don't think is worth its money is this one, because I think there are other products that can help with discoloration a little bit better. So even if you talk to your dermatologist, they can probably get you a prescription that's going to cost a lot less than this. Or like I said, the La Roche-Posay one I think works a lot better for half the price. So that is it, guys. I'm so excited. I love doing these brand reviews. Let me know in the comments below what brand you want to see next. Please don't make it the most expensive brand out there. I've spent a lot of money on some of these. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.